It's Marc Mar-Yohana of OtisHealth. Marc is a passionate healthcare advocate and founder of OtisHealth, an organization serving families, caregivers, and people with chronic illness. He launched OtisHealth in 2021 in honor of his late daughter, Constance. Marc is a member of HIMSS and the Association of Clinical Research Professionals and an active participant in HL7, Carin Alliance, and DirectTrust initiatives. Welcome, Marc. Okay, unmute yourself and get ready to share.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Yuli, for that introduction and for giving me an opportunity to present today. Please let me know when you're able to see my screen. It should be in full presentation mode.
It's coming through. Yes.
All right, excellent. So, founder of OtisHealth, Marc Mar-Yohana, and as Yuli mentioned, my daughter passed away in 2018. She died from an undiagnosed brain tumor, and this is despite the fact that she was receiving the best care available. She had chronic medical conditions. She had a neurologist, pediatrician, therapists that were seeing her more than 30 hours a week, and her parents that were doting over her. Yet we all missed the signs that she had a tumor growing inside of her brain, inside of her head, until she passed away. And after she passed, I started studying what had happened and learned that we all had a piece of the puzzle, but because we're all in different systems, nobody had the full picture. And as a parent, I didn't even have a place to put my observations. And so OtisHealth is named after, this is a picture of Constance and her service dog, Otis, that we named the company after her service dog. He was always by her side, and we think of OtisHealth as being something that people carry with them wherever they go. So our experience unfortunately is not unique. There are millions of people around the country that are challenged with managing the healthcare of their loved ones every day. It's especially important for folks with chronic medical conditions, and oftentimes in this statistic, 50% of people with chronic medical conditions are unable to adhere to their medication regimen. This is also an opportunity to work with physicians, with payors, and other organizations to improve how we interact with patients and caregivers, to improve the health screenings or make the health screenings more timely, have better ways of monitoring health indicators and adherence to a treatment regimen, and also an opportunity to conduct research. So our solution is live. It's a platform that we believe reduces the administrative burden of managing care. Members can enter in vitals, they can set medication reminders, collect data from any source, EHRs, they can download CCDA files and upload them, and OtisHealth reads them into the record. The most important thing is it creates a full longitudinal record of the member. And so whether it's their record or the family member's record that's being managed, we have a complete view that can be shared securely with anyone that needs to see it. And also OtisHealth allows members to enter their own clinical data that gets coded on the back end as ICD-10. And so the application from a technical standpoint is designed and tested for a FHIR connection. So we can connect via FHIR API to any HL7 compliant system. We can read CCDA files into the record. We integrate with wearables such as Apple Health and Google Fit and Fitbit. We can, it's both a mobile app and a web app. It's device independent. So any web browser can open up the app, or if you're using a Google or Apple device, of course, you can use OtisHealth. And the data architecture is set up to be scalable. As I mentioned, it's ICD-10 on the back end. That's primarily to enable AI and to be able to port data back to EHRs or other health systems. And we are accredited by ENAC. That accreditation includes testing the application for interoperability and also reviewing all our privacy and security practices. Some of the things, like there are a lot of other consumer apps out there, and some of the main differentiators is we design the application to optimize the process of caregiving. We also allow members to enter their self-collected data. I've already reviewed some of the other points on here. our application is free for anybody to use. That was really important at the beginning, that we established a business model that allows us to remove any barriers for people using the application to manage their care and the care of their loved ones. So the services that are paid for are primarily for payers, providers, home health care agencies, other professional service organizations, and also clinical research organizations. So we have platform services, research services, and as an opportunistic standpoint, we also offer advertising for health-related products and services. So we have pretty bold plans. We started as Yuli mentioned in 2021. We went live with the application last fall in late November with the MVP. Currently we have 2 advertisers on that app, and our first platform service client, it's a payer that has set up the application where we launched a white label version of OtisHealth just for them. And all the members that are signing up for a new discounted healthcare product are also required as part of their policy to use OtisHealth and to connect to a wearable device and share that data back, their physical activity data back with the payer. And they're planning to bring over 15,000 people for this pilot. So far, they've enrolled over 7,000 in this pilot program. And then we'll start the research services early next year. And it's by the end of the first half next year, we'll launch our research services. We have a small management team, so still very much a startup. So it's me as the leader, along with Suri and Ramston. We have a great board of advisors with expertise in everything from big data to pharma to how to launching and successful consumer health applications and working with payers. So that I hopefully was within my 10 minutes there. I welcome any questions about OtisHealth.
Thank you, Marc. Great presentation. All right, let's open up for questions from the community. You can stop sharing your screen. That way I can see any raised hands, any questions. Okay, so what you're doing is, I have a question. What you're doing is, taking the EHR data. Are you taking the EHR data at all, or is it all personal? Okay, so you're taking the EHR data and then you're enabling that so that patients can enter data. You can get other data from, wearable devices, and including that. How is this different from, say, Apple Health or other services like that?
So Apple Health is a tethered platform. You have to be on Apple Health to use Apple Health. If you want to share your data with somebody else, they have to be on Apple Health as well, which means they need an Apple device of some sort to connect. Where OtisHealth is completely independent. Where Apple Health is allowing members to bring in health data from different sources, such as EHRs. The process, if you haven't tried it yet, is you log into the EHR and give permission to consent essentially for that data to be transferred. And then you see it somewhat categorized, but you can't really enter your own data on top of it, meaning you can't enter a medical condition where OtisHealth already has pre-configured sections where you can add specific ailments and notes. Apple Health doesn't have that. Apple Health also doesn't read CCDA files, to my knowledge, where we try to provide as many venues or avenues for people to bring in data. We'll be adding home health monitoring devices soon, like blood pressure cuffs, blood glucose monitors, pulse oximeters. And we already have the SDKs. We just need a little more time to launch them. Yeah.
And so who would be your ideal customers?
So first, the application, we want everyone to be able to use the application. So from the consumer side, we really want anyone to use it. It's primarily targeting folks that are caring for others, so caregivers that need a better place to manage their information. So one of the members brought over his 3 children. His parents are on it, his spouse is on it, and he's helping manage the whole family's application, or all the family's healthcare, even though there are different providers and different systems. He's bringing all that data at OtisHealth so he can see it and quickly manage it and receive medication reminders or notifications about their health as needed. From the revenue side, our ideal customers are providers. So we have relationships right now with 7 organizations, aside from our current clients, where we're working on pilot programs with them on establishing better patient engagement programs, streamlining admissions process. If you think about all the data you need to bring in when you're first a new patient at a facility, OtisHealth streamline it because the patient comes in with consented data. They can actually, in a matter of minutes, present it instead of filling out admissions forms and consent forms and trying to get that data. And also the next year, we will be pursuing clinical research contracts. And these are primarily pre-screening. So if you're familiar with clinical trial process, the cost of pre-screening candidates and screening candidates is extraordinary, and there's a huge fallout rate. So we believe the quality of our pre-screened candidates will be higher because we'll know a lot more about them, including their engagement in their health, like they're setting medication reminders and entering their vitals every week. And so that's the big customers for us from a revenue side are providers, payors, and research organizations such as academic medical centers, pharmaceutical companies, medical device companies.
So the data flows back and forth from the EHR. Does it go both ways, or is it just one way?
Currently, we're just fetching data. Well, with the pilot programs, they are asking us to ship the data back.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions for Marc?
Yeah, Marc, thanks for the presentation. Are you using any algorithms to consume and process the data and provide insights back?
We will be implementing that next year. Currently, we're just using basic analytics. So if somebody enters their height and weight, we calculate the BMI and present it to them in the health insights section. We also, so they're basically rule-based insights at this time. If you enter blood pressure, it gives you information about that blood pressure. If you fill out the mental health assessment, it gives you a score. But those are all basic. Next year, what we'll be doing is implementing a few AI algorithms to actually go through the person's full health profile, including their family medical history, to try to predict illnesses before they're showing symptoms, or to present them opportunities for screening, or to suggest screening opportunities for them.
Yeah, that's great. Take a look at a company, I think it's called Luminaire. They've done great things in the sepsis space, and
yeah, Sharma Velamuri.
Yeah, cool.
Actually, I have his card right here. I met him.
Marc, I would love to connect to discuss using your service or platform and see how we can collaborate.
That'd be wonderful. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great.